BHF Foundation. BHF Foundation is a youth organization, as I said before, as I was saying from the beginning, where we try to handle issues that has to do with the youth and how to be able to build up a better society. I've always said if you want a better society, you need to have a better youth. And so what we are trying to do is to see how we can be able to advise the youth, but only to advise from the experience that we've gotten already, so they can know the step to take, what to avoid and what not to avoid. So at the end of the day, they will not live a life of regrets. And so that's why we want to again welcome you again to this wonderful program. And we've been dealing for the past 2 weeks now. We've been dealing with on Pastor Elo David's book, Elo David book, Contending with the Dragons. That's the title of the book. The book is on Amazon. Contending with the Dragon. And we have, in this book, we have 3 or 4 dragons. We look at the table of contents. You have the dragon of drug abuse. We have the dragon of Yahoo, which we have been dealing with. We deal with drug abuse. And now we are dealing with the dragon of Yahoo, which is very common now. It's for those outside Nigeria, it's a common phrase that is used by scammers. And I told you before that before now we used to call them guy. It was guy. Those early 90s, and the rest it was guy. Then the internet was not as popular and strong as it is now in Nigeria. So we used to call them guy. Then the year 2000, when the internet began to come, they now progressed to being called Yahoo. And it's, guy was very popular those days, very, very popular. I guess that's one of the reasons why we are having a problem today in our governance, because most young men then were involved in guy, most of them, and some of them are now legislators, governors, in different political scheme of things. And most of them also transcended, and using that same skill they acquired while they were in guy, also in governance. And that's one of the reasons why we keep having the problem we are having in governance in our country, Nigeria. Because the generation of people that we have now in leadership positions, we've had one or two. Some of them must have had one or two encounter with what we call guy. We used to say guy men. These are people that were involved in phone. I must understand that majority of the youth in the early 90s, majority of the young men in the early 90s were involved in it. I remember there was a particular time where even CNN reported that one of the highest, the second highest earner for foreign exchange was from guy. It was so popular. You have young men making so much money in the early 90s from that guy. I would not want to mention names here and there, but it is how it is. And so we continued on it, and the guy was basically writing of letters, write letter to foreign companies, foreign organizations, individuals, telling them that you are a government official, you have so much money, and you want to transfer the money to a foreign bank account, and you want them to assist you. Then they come with all kinds of documents for you to sign, all kinds of documents. And in the process of you signing them and the rest, they will give you mutual bill, different kind of bills where they begin to collect money from you. It became popular, especially when the foreign exchange was really very bad. then you know that when you make money in dollars, uh, you convert it to our naira, it becomes something that is huge, very, very huge. The naira was bastardized. So they continued on it for a very long time until it got to a stage where the boys started coming in. Yahoo, when Yahoo became popular, they were posting later anymore. They now moved to using the internet. So the things you call can be cyber crime and the rest. So they're using the internet. And the disadvantage of it is that it begins to affect international uh, sales and trade. It's so bad that once you hold a Nigerian passport, it's assumed that you are a 419 person. They don't have much regard for our passport then because of the much devastating impact that the 419 have caused. Now we are looking at chapter 2. Chapter 2 is talking about the dragon of Yahoo. So the young boys of this generation now step into Yahoo using the internet to defraud. And we want to look at one of the things that you must try as much as possible to understand is you will not be duped if you are not greedy. The reason why in most cases people are duped is because they are greedy. You want to collect money and you want to make money from a transaction you never did. And that's part of where we have the problem. The foreigners want to collect money that they didn't contract, they didn't execute. They just want to collect the money. There are some cases that they send they have different kind of formats. We are saying this so that people will not fall victim. We are looking at Yahoo chapter 2, the dragon called Yahoo. It has destroyed Nigerians' image, Nigerians' reputation, and it's still doing worse now. It has even gotten worse now because we also have what we call Yahoo Plus. That is not just talking to people about it, charms and all kinds of diabolical means have been added to it, all to try and see how they can collect money from their victims. And so we want to dwell a lot now on the Yahoo Plus, where diabolical means is added to see how they can be able to collect money from people. I'm saying this because most of Nigerian youths are involved in it, and it has destroyed the life and destiny of a lot of youths. At this point, I want to say most of the people that were involved in Yahoo in the 90s, sorry for that break. It's a normal it's a normal tradition or issue in Nigeria. Once in a while, the power goes off and it comes back again. And so we're looking at chapter 2, which is the dragon of Yahoo. And this chapter 2, the dragon of Yahoo, which is, I said, is very common among the young people in Nigeria now. And it has dented the image of Nigeria abroad. It dented the image of Nigeria abroad. And this trade is still going on because it's something that is also a little bit close to what some people in government are doing. They siphon money out of this country, millions and millions and millions of dollars. And so the Nigerians themselves decided to operate using that same format. So if they want to transfer money out of the country and they want somebody that will receive it over there, these things are all lies. At times you'll be in your house, you see phone call, your name is so and so, the person is calling and say he met you, this and this and this, is calling from UK, and he wants you to assist him in transferring money. They're all lies. They're all lies. It's now terrible because all over the social media is the same thing you see. People advertising, they have this to sell, they have that to sell, just like what we said in the morning. They tell you they have all kinds of things to sell. and they want you to pay upfront. And remember, I also told you that the biggest mistake you ever make is to pay money to anybody before you see the goods, before you see the product. To pay money upfront is a major strategy for defrauding people. When you pay money upfront, don't pay money upfront for any transaction at all. Because in most cases, they are fake, they are not real. Ensure that before you pay money, you see exactly what you are paying money for. But to pay money to somebody you've not seen before, it doesn't matter what it tells you. Most of them are fake. They are fake now, very, very fake. I told you in the morning that my wife also fell victim to it. And she paid money for, or you suppose to use that word, the guy that sells snails, he said this, he said that, and she wanted to sell these things abroad. So she paid money for it. The guys were from Ibadan then. I don't forget, yes, I think they are from Ibadan. And they paid money to them until today. If you've not seen the snail, her money is gone. So I always tell people to be a little bit careful, very, very careful. Most people that you see on the internet, they are Yahoo people. They have discovered various forms of defrauding people online. I remember I also told you they've called me many times. There was a time I saw a lady was chatting me up in the internet, and it's a white picture. But when he started talking, I know he's a Nigerian. But they can get any kind of picture they want to get. They put it on the internet. They use all kinds of pictures on the internet. She must have gotten the picture of somebody. She said she's a divorcee, mother of one child, blah, 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 blah. And she has followed my profile. She wants to get married to me. She said all kinds of things. I started following her. I knew that it is fraud. I was going with her. I got to a stage, she said she wants to send me Apple. She worked with Apple in the UK. She wants to sell me Apple laptop. She wants to sell me Apple phone. You want to send me about 3 or 4 laptops. Oh, I said, thank you very much for your generosity. I'm very grateful. The next thing she said is she's going to send them to the British Airways. I will pick it up in Lagos. He said, where am I? Is it Abuja or Lagos? I said, Lagos. I said, okay, she's going to pick it up. I'll pick it up in Lagos. I said, thank you very much. I think it was the next day or that very day, if I'm not mistaken. No, it's the next day or 2 days later. Somebody called me from the international airport and said my goods just arrived, but I have to pay 200 and something thousand to clear it. Oh, and I told the guy, I said, thank you very much for this information. I said, okay, what you will do is that because the lady, the so-called lady, if I'm not mistaken, when she sent message to me, one of the things she said was that she's going to put £1,000, when she knows that we run a foundation. She says she wants to assist a part of the foundation. That's why she sent all those things she was sending. She put £1,000. So I told these guys that were calling me right now, I said, please, I have £1,000 inside. So you are free. I give you the permission. Take the £1,000, do the conversion, and take the money for clearing the goods you talk about, and put the rest back in the carton, in the container, and send them to me. And of course, that was the last time we communicated. And funny enough, immediately she stopped communicating with me, I could not trace any of her chat anymore on the phone. The whole chat disappeared. Yahoo. So I'm saying this now so that you must be very careful. There are people who every day they are carrying out research on how to defraud people on the internet. Every day, more and more research, more and more. They are devising more scheme to defraud people on the internet every day, every day. For more and more scheme. So you must be very careful so that you don't fall victim. Very, very careful, so that you will not become a casualty of Yahoo Yahoo. It's so common now. The major Yahoo scheme which they are using now is the scheme of getting married. They look for people abroad and they tell them they want to marry them. They want to get married to somebody in England, want to get married to somebody in Spain, in France, in America. And they start conversation. They will send pictures. 100% of the pictures they send, they are not the ones on the picture. They are somebody else. Somebody else's picture is what they will send as if they are the person. They are not the person. They went back in the conversation with the lady, try to pass information to make it look as if they love the lady, they're in love with the lady, and all their own schemes. And the next thing they do, they begin to, when they have been able to convince the lady and they are now in love with the lady, or they behave as if they're in love with the lady. I know these white ladies, they fall easily. So they send the informant and the rest, and she complied, and they started discussing. Before you know what is happening, they start from $100 to $200. That's the scheme of young people. And I told you right now that they have advanced to Yahoo Plus. Yahoo Plus, which is not a normal Yahoo, which is the diabolical part of it. That's why I always want to tell people and ladies to be very careful. The advanced type of Yahoo, which is common now, which they are using, they will take this girl, they take a part of the girl, maybe her sperm or her pubic hair, they will give it to a herbalist. And the herbalist will use it to make charm. And if they are kind enough, the charm they will do, the lady will not be able to give birth again. She will not be able to give birth. And then in some cases, the girl will become insane because her pubic hair, her sperm, they have been used to do the charm. So whatever they are able to tell their victims will be able to do without resistance. That's another form of Yahoo Plus. She will not be able to, there will be no, whatever they tell the person to do, the person will do. Because they're there and then the person is no more using his senses anymore. It has now been used diabolically. A lot of girls are fallen victims. And I would sincerely want to advise our young people to be very careful because in conclusion, this is chapter 2 now, Yahoo. We're talking about how these people operate. They have different formats which they are used to operate. And the whole idea is to be able to get money from people. And most of this money to get money. And it's so common. You go to all over Nigeria. You see young men on the laptop. The only thing they use the laptop to do is to see how they can defraud people. And so for those who are outside this country, they should be very, very careful. And our ladies should be very, very careful. Very, very careful. Because most times when you sit down in that car, you are going to take shawarma. The girl will not know that she's the one that they want to use to buy the shawarma. And so girls who are not satisfied or who are greedy, they will always fall victim. They will always fall victim. I'm saying this right now, chapter 2, the dangers of Yahoo. Girls who are greedy, they will always fall victim of these Yahoo boys because it's the girls they use. A friend of mine once, he told me that he was telling me a story that one of his other friends that he knows very, very well from the same area told him that they went to a native doctor where they wanted to use a girl to do Yahoo. And when he got there, the native doctor said, this girl has been used. He went back. He said he went there with the pubic hair and I think with the pubic hair of 5 different girls, and they find out that the 5 girls have been used. I'm saying this is chapter 2 of my book now, the dangers, the contending with the dragons, the dragon of Yahoo Yahoo. They've gone far. I know a young boy also many years ago, about 2-3 years ago, who I was called to attend to, because then we were running a youth center, and they called me and to attend to the young man. I met the young man and the rest, and the young man was scared. He was scared. It was a student at University of Lagos as a then. He was just 3 years old, if I'm not mistaken, University of Lagos. And he told me that he has used his mother for Yahoo Yahoo to make money. He has used his mother to make money. And he used her, and he said he put the charm on the handkerchief. So he bought this brand new handkerchief that he gave to the mother. The mother was happy that the son has brought her handkerchief. I don't know that she placed the charm there. As the mother started using the handkerchief to wipe her face, not quite long, she became sick. Seriously sick, and she died. After about probably a few months, he started making money, because he had used that already for Yahoo Yahoo. He started making a lot of money. But not up to a year later, the senior brother died, because there are 2 of them that did the charm. The senior brother died. And before you know what is happening, he became very, very sick. That was why he knew that it was his turn to die also. So I will advise the young men, don't get involved in fraud. It's very dangerous. These things have consequences. The native doctor you are going to meet to do the charm for you for Yahoo Yahoo will not tell you that they have consequences. You will definitely pay the price for it. You will definitely pay the price. There's price to pay for money that you get illegally, especially the one that you use to get through Yahoo Yahoo means. There are consequences. We've seen young men, 20, 18 years old, they made so much money. After some time, they die. For most cases, they go to these native doctors, and they will do the charm and give the charm to a chicken, and place a corn. They put corn in front of this chicken that they've done the charm on. So it is the number of corn that he eats that will determine the number of years that he will spend. And they will make sure that at least for about very long time, the corn becomes so terribly hungry. So when they finally give the corn to the chicken, might not be able to eat up to 3 or 4 or 5. Maximum, most of them eats about 7. And that's the number of years that it will spend. The number of corn that they eat is the number of years that they will spend on earth. So what is the point in acquiring so much wealth? At the end of the day, you will die before your time. Yahoo Yahoo, they've caused so much damage. If they extend it now, like I said, on the internet now, is a major issue on the internet now. People are initiated on the internet when they are told that they want to make them rich. However, in most cases, I always advise our parents to always ensure they are able to monitor what their children are doing on the internet, because the internet has become a big, worldwide enterprise where we have all kinds of people that are there, satanists and all kinds of characters, and they initiate people now on the internet. They initiate them, and on the internet, when they initiate them, the form they give to them to fill, part of what they will tell them to do is to fill their next of kin, any member of the family they love most. So it is the person they feel there. In most cases, that's the person they will use for the Yahoo Yahoo. That's the person that they will kill. So the internet has done so much good The internet also have done so much evil, destroyed many lives, have led many people astray. So you must be very careful with the internet. You must monitor what your children are doing. A lot of transactions are taking place, and most of those transactions, they lead to nowhere, they lead to destruction. So be very careful who you talk to on the internet. Be very careful who you discuss with on the internet. Be very careful the kind of transactions you take place on the internet, the transactions you embark on, because they will cut short your destiny. Some time ago, a 14 years old boy, 14 years old boy that lives in Ibafo is very close to Lagos State. He was able to trick his father. Not as if he tricked his father anyway, but the father went with him out of compassion because he said he wanted the father to help him to talk to somebody that he was owing money, and the person is angry. So after it's his only son, so he decided to say, okay, let him go with him and see this person that is owing and see how he can be able to resolve it. So he went. I think when they went to the house of this man, the man had compassion on him, on the father. And he sent the boy on an errand. And he discussed with the father and said, do you know why your son brought you here? Your son wants to use you for Yahoo, for charm. The father did not believe. So he told the father, okay, you lie down here if you don't believe. When your son come back, he will see us talk. The father still did not believe. So that was how he lied down, he sent the boy, and he and the father and him and the father were discussing. So he lied down, and the boy came back from the errand he went to, and he heard where they were discussing about how they want to use the father for charm. In fact, the father could not contain himself. He had to get up from the bed immediately. The son wanted to use him for Yahoo. It's so common now. There was one time on NTA Benin, or no, not on AIT. We saw in the news of a young man, I don't think he's up to 20 years old, that used his mother for Yahoo. They showed them on the news. He killed his mother, raped the corpse before he was finally caught. So there are many cases right now of young men who are using their mother, using their parents, their father for Yahoo, because there is this desperate desire, urge to make money. I mean, look at it. A boy of 14 years old that wants to drive a Lexus Jeep, that want to drive this car. At 14 years, when you should be thinking about school. What should be in your mind at 14 years is school. So a lot of people have been destroyed. Our young people, our youths, are now being destroyed because of the scourge of Yahoo. While the elderly ones are in government stealing funds, their children, the young ones, are out there doing everything possible to make money through Yahoo. So you see that we are living in a confused state as a nation. And we are saying all these things now because we want to see how we can get a better nation. And the only way we can get a better nation is for us to retrace our step and stop doing what is wrong. Too many men and women have lost their lives because their children have used them for Yahoo, used them to make money. There are people who are in a hurry to use their parents to make money. And these things can only happen because of greed and desire to make money at all costs. There's a desire now to make money at all costs. It doesn't matter if the life of the people is involved. We saw in the news here that day of a young girl, 300 level student, who went to see the boyfriend. He's a student of LASU. She came all the way, she left Lagos and traveled to Ibadan to see the boyfriend. Now knowing that the boyfriend is also a Yahoo guy who was told to look for a girl that they will use her breast to make money. And that's exactly what she did. It was all over the news. And he got there, he killed the girl, cut off her breast until they were caught. It was already too late. The girl was already killed. These things, you see them in the news, but these things can be prevented if we get people educated, people well informed. And that's what we are trying to do, to get people well informed that these things are strategy to destroy the destinies of young people. At 14, at 15, what you should be thinking about is your education, not how to make money at all costs. At all costs, by involving yourself in Yahoo Yahoo. So they use different means, as I said before. They deceive white ladies to collect money from them, telling them they will marry them, they will do this. They're all lies. Get money from them. Get money from them. So you must be very careful. Like I've always said, don't pay money up front. If not, so you become a casualty, a victim. Yahoo Yahoo. Don't pay money up front at all. In any transaction you are doing, buying or selling, don't pay money up front. You must see what you are buying before you release money. If not, so you'll be scammed. If not, so you'll be deceived. You'll be scammed. We want to, this is chapter 2, the book. The next chapter we'll look at is the dragon of court activities. We'll go through that one when next we come on air. Please subscribe to BHF Movies. Comment, press like, and press the notification button. So anytime we come on air, you'll be able to know and share to people so that they can be able to understand how these things operate so that they don't become victims. This is the dragon called Yahoo Yahoo. The next dragon we are looking at is the dragon of court activities. That's what we'll look at tomorrow when we come on air again. But please, I will leave you with this. Don't pay money upfront to anybody. Any transaction where you have to pay money before you see what you are paying money for, don't embark on it. There's a 99% probability that it's a false transaction. Because people these days are desperate to make money. And we don't want you to be a casualty, a victim of such evil transactions that have destroyed the lives of many. As I come away, again, this is Hello David BHF Foundation. And we are looking at how to make a better nation by making our youth better youth. Until we meet again, take good care of yourself. God bless you.